Today on The Young and the Restless, Maria and Kyle exchange updates, Chelsea surprises Billy, and Victor confides in Nate. Maria walks into society, spots Kyle, and they chat about the adorable Aria, who appeared in photos in a bunny costume. Kyle asks about her condition and Maria explains that her diagnosis was confirmed and her hearing loss is significant. The good news is that they're moving forward and they're able to fit her with hearing aids. She's getting them today. Kyle finds it amazing. She'll be able to hear them. Maria confesses she's nervous. What if the hearing aids don't work? Kyle asks. What if they do work? Kyle assures Maria she's doing everything right. Maria explains the doctor is patient and knowledgeable and was on Devin's team when he got his cochlear implant. Kyle reminds her even if the hearing aids don't work, there are other options and she has a strong support system. Maria asks if he's looking for a job. Kyle's enjoying the easy life and is learning to make sordo with Mrs. Martinez. Maria knows he loves hard work and proving himself. Kyle admits the downtime has been driving him crazy. I want to be back at Jabba in my old co-CEO job. Maria thinks that's too bad since his uncle has that position. Kyle muses, that could be changing soon. Billy sits down in the park and Chelsea walks up. Hello, stranger. He jumps up to kiss her and tells her it's damn good to see her. He asks why she didn't tell him she was coming home. Chelsea wanted to surprise him and confesses she's also there to work. There are fires to put out at Marchetti since Summer and Chloe both have very strong personalities. Billy hasn't heard of any issues. Chelsea warns that's about to change. At Marchetti, Chloe and Summer butt heads over designs that have been retooled several times. Chloe wants Summer to trust her. The designs are good and just need to be fleshed out. Summer argues Marchetti has a very specific look and clientele. Chloe tells her she needs to give her and Chelsea some leeway. They have years of experience. Summer counters, you mean more experience than me. She knows they have a lot of experience and that they're used to doing what they want to do, but she's in charge of Marchetti and knows exactly what she wants. Chloe volleys that being a leader means listening to your people and letting their creativity flow. Summer guesses she thinks she's holding them back. Chloe says that lately she seems to be second-guessing every design and suggestion they make. Why can't you just let go? In Sally's suite, Adam awakens when his phone dings. It's Nate asking if he's planning on coming to work today. He mutters, damn it, and slides out of the bed, where Sally remains asleep. Nick and Victoria arrive in Victor's office. He asks to what he owes this visit. Nick says he brought his sister up to speed on his mental fitness. Victoria launches into a barrage of questions. Nick told me that you've been fooling us this whole time. Did he really feel her loyalty needed to be tested in this way? Did he actually think she would exploit his health for a job title? Victor asks, what is this all about? Nick reiterates, Dad, she knows everything. Victoria adds, Nick told me that you've been pretending to appear mentally unstable. Nick says they've talked about it and they're willing to go along with the plan to prove Adam is the one they need to worry about. Victoria exclaims, that's right. This plan should be for Adam alone. Victor doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. What plan? Nick says, the plan you admitted to me. Victor didn't admit anything. Nick argues that he set a trap to expose traitors. Victor snaps, are you trying to trick me? Victoria gasps, Dad, come on. You know that's not true. Victor levels, I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing. You're trying to convince me that I'm losing my own mind. A devastating side-by-side comparison of Hamas and ISI's hostages. Nick insists no one is trying to trick him. He references their conversation last night and Victor seems to forget that they talked. Nick reminds him he confessed that he was setting a trap to test his kid's loyalty. Nate comes to the door and Victor says, take me out of here, okay? He snarks at Nick, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Victor and Nate leave and Nick asks Victoria, what the hell is going on? In Sally's suite, she awakens to Adam being dressed and wishing her good morning. He references them being up most of the night and says he hasn't slept that soundly in a long time. He wants to make sure she's okay. They have a lot to unpack after what happened last night, and he knows it may not mean what he hopes it does. Do you regret that we spent the night together? Sally doesn't regret it, but agrees there's a lot to unpack. He asks her if she wants to get dinner later, but she needs time to let it sink in first, and figure out where things go from here. Adam lets her know he doesn't regret a single moment of last night. I'll see you later. At Crimson Lights, Chelsea updates Billy that Connor is doing amazing at his new school. He's around a bunch of kids who struggle with the same difficulties. Billy recalls that when he visited, he seemed really proud of himself. Chelsea reports that he's moved into the dorms and told her if she wanted to come back to Genoa City, he supports that. She'll go back and see him on the weekends. Billy tells her she did the right thing by her kid. Chelsea appreciates the support. Billy's happy she'll be spending more time there. They kiss. Chelsea invites him back up to her apartment. In Chelsea's apartment, she and Billy undress each other as they kiss in the bedroom. He lowers her onto the bed and she grins as he climbs on top of her with more kisses. At Marchetti, Summer insists she has faith in Chloe and Chelsea. Chloe says it doesn't feel that way. Summer just knows what she wants and frankly she hasn't seen it yet. They can't afford to put out anything that's less than perfection. We actually need to up the ante. Chloe says they will, but at a certain point they need to trust themselves that they know what the buyers want. Summer disagrees. The sales have been down. Chloe will make a point to pay attention to that, but she thinks Summer's fears are clouding her judgment. She may be needing to prove herself now that Kyle is gone and perhaps she worries she won't measure up on her own. It's throwing you off and for some reason you just can't trust yourself and know that Chelsea and I can deliver for you. Summer denies that's what's happening here. Chloe says the only other reason is that she doesn't think they can pull this off. At Chelsea's place, she and Billy talk about Jabba after sex. Billy complains that Tucker's back and it's one underhanded move after another. He fills her in on Tucker getting Phyllis to hack into their accounts and then gifting Jack and Diane with a wedding gift containing a listening device. Ashley's determined to figure out what he's up to. She has a plan and he doesn't like it, but Billy knows better than to try and stop his sister. Chelsea questions if Tucker can really do damage to Jabba. Billy would like to believe they could handle an attack, but he can hit hard when the mood strikes. Chelsea muses that Ashley is his weakness, or used to be. Billy has a bigger problem right now, my nephew Kyle. I think he's coming after me. In society, Maria asks why Kyle would think Billy is leaving soon. Kyle shrugs that Billy's history is a predictor of the future. They shouldn't wait for him to mess up again. Maria doesn't like the look in Kyle's eyes. Will he really try to get his uncle fired? Kyle is going after what he wants. He gave his father an ultimatum: bring him back as co-CEO or he's gone for good. Maria asks if it's worth a family war. Does the job really mean that much to you? Kyle says maybe it does. Maria suggests he start his own business, free of family politics and tension. At Newman by the elevator, Nate tells Victor that Nick and Victoria are just looking out for him. Victor complains they want him tested and he doesn't need that in his life. He asks if Nate has settled on a specialist. Nate's working on it. Victor declares, "You are the only one I can trust." Adam comes downstairs at the club and runs into Victoria and Nick, who have just arrived. Adam notes that Victoria looks unusually miserable today. Victoria tells him to shut up. Nick wonders if he's been up at Sally's room begging for another chance. When are you going to let it go? Adam smiles. In her suite, Sally tries to work but ends up flashing to being in bed with Adam. She recalls how he kissed her and said he missed her so much. They go over how they didn't plan this and he says for him it feels right. Meant to be. Sally tells herself enough and starts working again. Downstairs, Adam asks Nick and Victoria if they've seen their father. Nick says he's having a forgetful day today. Adam sighs. Whatever is wrong with him, it's clearly not going away. Nick nods, you might be right about that. Adam says he spoke with a specialist last night. I was worried. Just like you were. Nick asks if he had any advice. Adam says he advised him to have Victor meet with him so he can assess the situation. He thinks the three of them could convince him. Victoria informs Adam that he doesn't need to be involved moving forward. They will handle everything with their father. None of them trust him. Adam gets why they're trying to shut him out. He realizes the consequences of what would happen if word gets out, but he's not going to sit by and do nothing. I am Victor's child too. He won't turn a blind eye. I have to do something, with or without you. In the park, Victor asks, "Where did you take me?" Nate says, "To the park. You asked to come here." Victor grunts, "Oh, They sit and Victor says he can't seem to figure this out. There are moments when everything seems clear, and then it becomes foggy. Nate promises they'll get it sorted. Victor feels alone. Nate tells him he has his family. Victor says, they want to take everything from me. They want to take my company from me, my sanity, me autonomy, everything. Nate argues the point. Victor argues he raised them to be ruthless. They're monsters of his own making. At Marchetti, Summer insists she trusts Chloe and Chelsea. It's not about her or them, it's about the spring line. Chloe says the line is right there, but she's not willing to see it. Summer's had enough and ends the meeting until Chelsea can join them. She walks out. At Society, Kyle tells Maria he's not interested in starting his own business. When he left Newman Media, Victor told him that he should go back to where he belongs and work with his family. He gets frustrated with his dad, but he can't let go of the feeling that his place is at Jabat. It's his grandfather's company and his legacy. I will do whatever it takes to get back there. Maria scrunches up her nose. Even railroading Billy? Kyle asks her not to put it that way. He deserves his spot and is confident that things will eventually go his way. At Chelsea's place, Billy tells her that Kyle has put Jack in the position of having to choose between his son and his brother. If he chooses Kyle, it would make him question his judgment when it comes to Jabat. He's sure Diane wouldn't question him being pushed aside for Kyle. Chelsea thinks Jack needs his leadership skills. Billy has been strong and steady in the C-suite. Kyle has had everything handed to him and isn't ready. He hasn't paid his dues. Chelsea asks if this is what he really wants or if he's doing it because he's scared of feeling like a failure. Billy finally feels he's on the right path and will do everything he can to stay on it. Chelsea supports him. They kiss. In the park, Nate tells Victor that he taught his children to go after what they want. But not you. Victor says he took Victoria's power from her. Adam has resented him ever since he set foot in Genoa City. Nate thinks it's possible that Adam is more concerned about him than he can see. Victor thinks Victoria and Adam are trying to take him down. He's going to fire their asses and keep them far away. At the club, Nick and Victoria debate whether or not there's something wrong with their father. Either that or he's still faking an illness because he still doesn't trust her. If so, he's changed course and is laying a trap for her. Adam looks for Victor in his office and then calls Dr. Skelton. He's going to try and arrange a meeting with his father for drinks, and if he gives him the time, perhaps he could stop by and say hello. At Marchetti, Chloe greets Chelsea and tells her they have a big problem. This is turning into a disaster of epic proportions. She tells Chelsea that Summer is fixated and inflexible. Chelsea has to help her get her to see that they know better than she does. At Society, Maria and Kyle agree to keep each other updated. Maria urges him to proceed with caution. As she leaves, Billy arrives. He zeroes in on Kyle and tells him, I know what you're up to, Kyle, so we're going to clear the air once and for all. Kyle smirks.